Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Lazy Fucking Snail. Yes, I changed my channel name. Don't fucking ask me. I need to cuss a few fucking times, like a few million fucking times, so you guys can actually comment on the goddamn video. Okay, so now that I've literally gone a million times over YouTube's profanity limit, we can get into What If Kirito Was a God, Part 2. Redo, actually. Now, I don't know if this is going to be the last one. I'm doing this off of a totally existent, totally not off the top of my head script that I'm literally not, that I generally totally do not have. Anyways, so we left off by bullshitting you guys with the whole Kirito is starting to turn human shit. Yes, that was cringy as all fuck. But no one gives two fucks. It allows me to do some pretty damn big plot twist in the future, at least. Now, before we actually continue, it's time for your famous anime filler arc. Yes. Not that much, I promise. So, in the Alicization world, or the Underworld, the one created by Raft, yes, I did finally fucking watch the actual anime again. Purple-haired motherfucker, or purple-haired bitch, as past me would like to call her, uh, is not dead. She survived. She survived the black hole. Somehow. I mean, she is a bitch. She's a cheater. She's more of a cheater than Kirito. And Kirito doesn't even use his hacks. I call hacks. Anyways, so she's alive. And what happened to all the Integrity Knights? They were all very much, they were forced back under her control. They were given very painful punishments as well. However, she has no idea where Kirito went. The only one who managed to get away from purple-haired bitch was Alice, which, yes, she does not lose her life this time. And glad thing, because of that, neither does Yu-Gi-Oh! To be honest, I was pretty pissed about his death, but no one cares, because Kirito was given one of the most badass fucking fights because of his death, and the fact that Kirito had his sword. Too bad Kirito has his own sword. So, we cut to Alice just running through the woods, as she would finally make it out of the woods and she's on top of a hill, as she would see her village. As because of this event, she would slowly start regaining her memory of who Kirito was, and so would Yu-Gi-Oh, but no one else would be regaining memory because, well, purple-haired bitch got nearly fucking destroyed, so a lot of her influence got also got destroyed. However, she managed to regain it all back, except from losing control of Alice completely. Alice is now immune to that bullshit and losing track of Kirito, thinking he went to the monster side of the darker version of the underworld. Yes. Again, why did I already forget what that was called? Anyways, basically the underworld's equivalent of hell. HE double hockey sticks. Anyways, so that's where she thinks he went. However, he didn't go there. He went to the outer plane of existence. So Alice would just be running back to the East City, as she would then notice a boy at the same tree that her, Yu-Gi-Oh, and a mystery kid would be at when they were younger. As she would go there and see Yu-Gi-Oh, as she would be in disbelief. Not really that much of disbelief. She would be shocked that Yu-Gi-Oh was given the job, as they just hung out near the tree because it was a good spot for shade. Not in the actual anime, but in my what if. So yeah. So, Yu-Gi-Oh would hear a stick break as he would turn around and see Alice, as they would have a touching reunion. They would have a touching reunion as basically Yu-Gi-Oh would finish his quota. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that is what it's called. So they would start heading home, and they would see a sword stuck in the ground. As Alice would ask about it, as she thought it would have been pulled out by now. As Yu-Gi-Oh would then explain, some kid, some person stabbed the sword here about 4 years ago, as Kirito was the one who stabbed the sword into the ground, and as a way to show that if he ever does have to leave, he will come back and take the sword once again, as he still plans to do this someday. As Yu-Gi-Oh would then explain that the sword has been nearly impossible to pull out, as Alice still has her very strong strength from being an Imperial Knight. As she would attempt to pull it out, it would not budge. It would not freaking budge. As they would go back to the city, and it would be a very, very touching reunion. As Alice was now back in the city, Kirito slowly starting to get remembered, and this is just a setup for the end of this series. Or two-parter, I guess. Two-shot. Yeah, that's what I should start calling my what-ifs. A two-shot. Anyways, so now that we're done with the filler arc that I had to add just to put extra minutes onto this video, we will go in to actual story convenience. So, where did I last leave off? Oh, right. So, it would be that massive meeting for one of the bosses. Don't remember. Let's just say it's floor 35. The same floor Kirito could never beat because he did not want to use his powers to cheat. And he hasn't used them yet. And also, I will say, the Kirigaya family is not poor. Kirito can form money out of thin air. I just had to say that. I just wanted to say that after rewatching the last video. And I'm tired as all fuck. Why every time I do these what ifs, I'm tired? Anyways. So, they would explain things. Shit would go sort of normal. Instead of that one awkward tree scene, Kirito and Asuna would just basically just be in town. And would just be in town and having a decent time. As Asuna isn't like she is in canon, to where they can respond, they're nothing more than AI, as she knows what Kirito is. She doesn't know what he's done, but she doesn't know what he's done. She knows he's done something and regrets it miserably, but she doesn't know what exactly. So she's not the same person that brought up the plan of killing the AIs. This time it would be both Asuna and Kirito saying that we shouldn't. This plan would never get brought through, as once they did the floor boss, Kirito eyes would widen, as it would be a different floor boss. Don't remember what floor boss. It's not that centipede. It's not that massive. It's not that massive crab-looking thing, or the skull of bones. It would basically be this time it would be the final weapon that Kirito and Yu-Gi-Oh have to fight. That was created out of sacred arts. Yeah, that's basically how that went. So that was the boss, and it was hard as all hell, as this was a massive difficulty spike, as Kirito would tell everyone that this boss is different and that he failed against it multiple times in the beta test. He would then go to quickly explain what its moves are, what it can do, and how they could potentially beat it. As everyone, we skip about 30 seconds later, and almost everyone is on the ground beaten, and a few of them have died. However, this time, Kirito finally gets up with his sword. As a menu that no one else could see would open up. As code would start to appear and start forming the shape of a sniper looking thing. As Kirito would hold it, and almost everyone except for Asuna is knocked out. So he just creates it. And he creates a rail cannon, a sniper rail cannon actually, as he would aim it towards this thing, cock it back, charge it up, and the thing is disintegrated. As Kirito would go over to it, as people would start waking up, as he would just take the final hit to make it look like he killed it without the gun, as he now has a gun in his inventory that he's not giving anyone else. As the game master, or Heathcliff, Kaiba. I can't pronounce his name for shit. I keep on getting his name confused for Seto Kaiba. Anyways, don't mind that. I have an issue with my throat. So he is shocked to see this, as Kirito would then just weakly look up, and all Heathcliff could see was malice. As everyone would be healed up, and they would go to another floor. This is when Kirito and Asuna would decide to take that break. And SAO is not going to be a part of the story for long, because, well, SAO is not going to be part of the story for long, because the story actually revolves around Alicization, because why the fuck not? SAO was boring as hell, and again, I've made Kirito overpowered, so there comes that massive problem with what ifs. When you make a character too overpowered, it gets boring to tell the story, and you can't come up with good ideas, as in your mind, a massive powerful enemy appears. Kirito is also very fucking powerful. Kirito raises a finger. Massive powerful enemy is dead. That's literally everything that rushes through my mind. As why did Kirito almost get beat by this boss? Because this was the first time he ever used his power other than generating money. As what was happening was basically they decided to go on their break, and this is finally when Kirito's mindset of I'm no different, I'm just an AI, finally starts to vanish, and he confesses to Asuna. Now, awkward scene as all fucking hell to think of, because yeah. As I saw this comment saying that I'm a very much profanity-filled person. However, I forgot to add again, please get the fuck out of this video if you're not over 13. So again, I'm just gonna say this. This was put into my comments, and you can check the first part. You can check the first part of the first What If Kirito Was a God, and just see. I'm just gonna mention 2 words, or 3 actually. That's for a night of fun. Yes. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I got a comment about that, and let's just say, just to satisfy that one person, so I can satisfy as many people as possible, it does happen. I will not go into any more fucking detail. Also, yes, I know what it is. You don't need to ask. I know what it is. As again, it would be an awkward scene as all hell for Kirito to confess, as again, Asuna accepts him and honestly had a crush on him as well. Don't worry, I'm doing this for the greater good of all that is storytelling. As their break would go pretty much the same. Uh, a night of fun would happen. There you go, you fucking perverted piece of shit. I don't actually mean that. But seriously, there you go. There you go. There's the scene you wanted. Now, basically, this would all go the same until they hear someone screaming for help. Yes, Kirito and Asuna would both be woken up by this, and they share the same fucking bed. Uh, they would both be woken up by this. Uh, and basically run outside and follow the screaming. As they would see a little girl that was about to get killed by a wild animal. As Kirito would summon his sword and just immediately kill it. As this little girl would be Yui. However, let's explain why Yui is here. She didn't originally come from the forest, she actually came from an orphanage and actually was living with some nice people. However, when they were backed into a corner, they threw her to the side in order to get away themselves. So that's unfortunately what happened to Yui, unfortunately. But, so, the same thing goes in, they take care of her, and she starts considering them her mother and father. And yes, she does say mother and father, because, honestly, yeah, honestly. Yeah, just please. And also, a friend also asked if I was actually going to start maining Kirito what ifs. Uh, I don't think I will. I'm pretty sure I won't. I created this channel as a goal to create what ifs revolving around anime characters and video games. However, I might actually start creating a lot more Kirito what ifs. I've already got a very good suggestion that was given to me in mind. What if Kirito had Venom, which I might create it. I might, but I do have to finish almost everything I'm working on. I might cancel the Ghost Runner Deku. I was excited about it, but in all honesty, it just was weird as fuck to create. Like, a lot of bullshit went into it. Anyways. So, basically, that all would happen. As, basically, once the break ended, they started going through floor after floor after floor, as basically the Yui was being taken care of, as in the negative floor, as that's what I've decided to call it, because it's under floor 1, so the negative floors, floor 0, anyone? Yeah, I'm just gonna call them the negative floors, and I could throw bullshit to say there are like 100 negative floors, but I'm not, because there's only fucking one. So, Yui is not the one who erased the massive Reaper thing. It was Kirito. Uh, Cardinal can't wipe him out because Kirito is God. What the fuck am I saying? What if he already is one? Anyways, so we start getting closer and closer to the end of SAO. As every boss Kirito's been fighting, even before he started using his powers, he's been copying the abilities they were able to be given. They were given, as a few of them were useless, a few of them were useful. Kinda like the second deal. Ow. Fuck. If anyone knows what I just made a reference to, then you know. So, yeah, we would be getting closer and closer to the end of SAO. But when Heathcliff was finally about to be killed by Kirito, he teleported away in fear of being killed. As Asuna would be on the ground, very close to death, as Kirito would immediately pull out a healing crystal and crush it. As Asuna would be fully healed, and the battle would continue. As they would start going through the last 25 floors, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 25, if I'm correct. They start going through the floors and finally make it to floor 100. The boss fight began, and Heathcliff could not run away this time, as both the boss and Heathcliff were killed by Kirito. Kirito not dying, and him now being even more overpowered. As they don't know that Yui is an AI yet, so when the game ends, Yui's code was never preserved. As they would come out to the real world, as Kirito would immediately ask for the locations of two people, Yui and Asuna. As Asuna's location would be revealed, and then it would be revealed that Yui was also at the same hospital. This is the plot twist, everyone. This is the massive fucking plot twist I added into this series. Yui is not an AI, as he would immediately go to the hospital and find Yui first, as he would walk in and Yui would see him and run up to him and give him a hug, as Yui is an orphan, but she was still taken to an hospital. How she got her hands on a nerve, I don't fucking know. Why would you give a 5-year-old kid a very much dangerous and questionable device? But then again, if I'm correct, there were a shit ton of kids in SAO. So, yeah, that was the plot twist. I don't know if any of you like it. I don't know if any of you actually like the plot twist. But it's a fun plot twist. As they would then go to Asuna and realize that she's not awake. As that one pedophile looking ass came in and started doing that shit. As Asuna's father would walk in, as Kirito's hands started glowing, and ones and zeros created a knife. Not a knife. Ones and zeros would basically create a glove around his hand, as he would be clenching his fist very hard. As Kirito would go ahead and just scan this bitch's memory, because he can do that, and realize what he's done. As he then looks at, and then he holds his hand above the nerve gear, as the nerve gear would start getting reprogrammed, as all the code would be deleted, except for Asuna's character. And and Asuna would wake up, as Asuna would see Kirito and Huey and give them both a hug. As Asuna's father tried to introduce her to the pedophilic bitch, as Kirito would immediately shut this down incredibly fast. As Kirito is better looking, he's smarter, he's stronger. He beat this man in a fucking 1v1 knife fight. Bitch, I don't want to meet this man on Call of Duty when he's got a knife. Never mind, I do, because I'll fucking wreck his face with a knife. Anyway, so Kirito's stronger, he works harder, he's better looking, he's also more powerful, he's a divine being in this what if. So, yeah, that was the Sword Art Online arc. I don't know if you guys like this part. It was short as all hell, it did not have that much story in it, but I hope you guys liked it. This all comes off the top of my head, and it's really hard to come up with some of these ideas on the spot. And I have some duels to get to today, so yeah, not real life ones, just online ones, but so I got shit to do today, so I really do hope you guys enjoyed the part 2 redo of What If Kirito Was a God. What if suggestions, I will be taking what if suggestions. I might not be able to do all of them immediately, but I will certainly reply to your comment if I do take some of them into mind. So, without further ado, peace.